Hey, my friend, Benjamin Jakes here, and this is a review video of the CeraVe, I don't know how to say it. It's the AM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. So for me, I'm a guy, which means I do not know a lot about skincare, and it was something that I started learning about recently because I want to look forever young, and I'm into longevity and anti-aging and all that stuff going into my 30s, and I was looking at my skincare routine, and I was like, I really do not have one, right? So I started understanding what different things I needed to do to make sure I had healthy looking skin. And by the way, if you see a little mark right here, it's not a zit. I managed to run into a door. That's a whole different story for another video. But anyway, I wanted to just shoot this one and talk about a skincare product that I did figure out and add to that routine that's helped me out a lot. This is an AM moisturizer that actually has SPF protection and sunscreen inside of it. So for me, I started to learn about face washes and stuff like that. And I have like my face washes that I use like inside of the shower. But then what I was doing is I would just get out of the shower and I'd pat my face dry and I wouldn't do anything after that. And so that's good for like getting rid of the dirt and the stuff in my pores, but it's not good for like, hey, what's my protection like on my skin going throughout the day? And I was literally not even thinking about that. Like, you know, can I put something in between my skin and the outside world to just make sure that my skin is a lot safer going through the day, right? And so I learned about adding a moisturizer to my morning routine. And so what I do now when I get out of the shower is you just kind of click down on the top part here and I'll just do like 3 or 4 pumps and I'll kind of just spread it on my skin. And it has like a very light sunscreen type odor to it, but it literally goes away like as soon as you rub it into your skin. You know, some things where it's like, hey, we have sunscreen protection and you smell it and you're like, I'm going to smell like I'm a tourist at the beach, right? Like this is so mild. It's not even a big deal. You can just like faintly smell it. And for me, that was a big selling point because there's a lot of like moisturizers with sunscreen in them where they just smell way too off the charts. And this is very, very mild. So I like that. And then what I also noticed is I'm able to actually rub this like all the way into my skin and it absorbs, right? I even almost get like a nice slight glow after I put it in as opposed to looking greasy, right? You can have different sunscreens that you put into your face and it looks just greasy. You look like you're just got a reflective surface or something like that. And I definitely didn't want that. And I noticed with this, I was trying to just get like a baseline. Like I just want to rub it in and look like nothing's there, but I'd actually rub it in and there'd almost be like this slight glow that was kind of like in a positive direction. So I was like, okay, that's cool. It doesn't smell. It gives me like a slight glow. It's moisturizing my face throughout the day so that when I'm outside, and I'll literally live in like, I've lived in like desert environments like Vegas and Arizona and stuff like that. Like you got to be moisturizing like all the time in these places, right? And so for that, you know, this is something where I know that whether I'm in that type of environment or even just an environment where I'm going outside and I'm getting UV rays or whatever from the sun on my skin, it's nice to know that I have like the protection with a moisturizer, making sure my skin isn't going to get dry and cracked and inflamed. And then the inflammation can cause like permanent damage that makes me look old and all this terrible stuff. But it's also nice to know that I have a protection against the sun. So that was like a big paradigm shift for me, is having like some kind of protective layer against my skin, especially on my face and the outside world, right? You know, the elements and the sun and, you know, dirt and grime and blah, 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 and just dryness in general if the air's super dry and that kind of thing. And the CeraVe, however you say it, the facial moisturizing lotion for the AM is great. I also shot a review video about the PM one and how I specifically use that. But for this one, I definitely recommend it. My skin has had like a nice little glow to it, almost not looking oily or anything when I get out of the shower. And it's something nice to just add to the routine after I kind of like clean all the dirt out of my pores and stuff like that, dry off, get out of the shower, 3 or 4 quick pumps, put it on my face, and my skin is being moisturized throughout the day and also protected by the sun and the elements. So CeraVe facial moisturizing lotion for the AM and the PM. I recommend both. This is the AM one and it's definitely on my list.